to Media Week. Well, our co-host James Manning, editor and publisher of Media Week, is, of course, with us. And we've got a big week for radio ratings, of course, with the latest survey.
Survey 5 this year. We're over halfway. It's the run home to the end of the year. And it's getting a critical time for shows that are working to secure them for future years. But shows that aren't, people to start thinking about Plan B.
Let's bring up Sydney and kick it off with that, because some big moves in this one. Smooth FM making
a big Smooth jump. FM. Look, we've got to pay tribute to 2GB first. Looks still secure in top spot there. That's not going to change for a long time, I don't think. But Smooth, just shocking a lot of people. It's come from, well, it hasn't come from nowhere, because it's been building for, it's 3 years old now.
It's relatively new, though.
Oh, it's a new brand. It's still a very new brand. 3 years is nothing in radio. You people talk about a new breakfast show. It might take 3 years to get bedded into the market. And they're still perhaps underperforming a little bit in breakfast. So if they can really start hitting their straps in breakfast, this could have a real lock on top spot for quite a while. Look, WS and KISS still doing very well for ARN. Jonesy and Amanda, number 1 FM breakfast.
There are a lot of headlines about KISS FM losing audience. What do you say?
Look, the Cume audience are still there. Look, Kyle and Jackie O, by their own high standards, are down a little bit in share, but they won't be happy with that, I'm sure. But I don't think there'd be certainly no panic there. Nova doing pretty well. The stations that aren't there, Triple M and Today, aren't in that top 5. Hamish and Andy certainly gave Today a little bit of a boost. Drive was up significantly, and overall the station had a little climb too.
Okay, and they're very new to this survey, obviously. This is their first.
Yeah, this is their first survey. They didn't even have the whole survey period, so we could see a bigger impact in Survey 6.
All right, let's take a look at Melbourne. Probably no surprise to see 3AW.
3AW there. Triple M, number 1. Eddie Maguire in the hot breakfast, number 1 in breakfast there. Ross and John easily number 1 overall in breakfast for 3AW. But it's interesting, look how close those other FM stations are. 8.5, 8.4 and 8.3. So it's a real game on between Gold and Fox there. Of course, Hamish and Andy really helping Fox significantly in the market. KISS on the radar there, but ARN really wants to see KISS kicking a few more ratings goals. They want to see that pushing hard in the next 6 months. Stations that have dropped off in Melbourne, Smooth's number 1 FM in Sydney, they're not on the scoreboard. They're in the top 5 overall in Melbourne, and no Nova over there in that top 5 either. Nova Entertainment would really like to see Nova in particularly working a bit better for them in Melbourne.
Well, let's look at Brisbane, because Nova's coming in second spot in Brisbane, and quite a tight sort of race between 1 and 2 there. Yeah,
look, 1 and 2, 97.3. It's won all surveys this year in Brisbane, Ingrid, 97.3, so it does very well for ARN. Nova, not far off the pace, number 1 in 40, about 81 surveys. It's been number 1 to 40. Triple M hit 2 Southern Cross stereo stations. They'll be happy with that. 4BC actually probably was the biggest news up there. It's just off the top 5, but Ray Hadley and Alan Jones are networked in from Sydney, and Ray Hadley in particular really boosted that morning audience. They'd be very happy with that growth there.
All right, let's move over to Adelaide now. Mix coming in top spot, pretty ahead of the second and third, which were an equal tie.
Yeah, look, a good survey for Mix. Jodie and Soda do the breakfast show there. They knocked off 5AA Breakfast, which had been the number 1 commercial breakfast show in that market. So the ARN again doing very well there. Nova pulled back a little bit. They're still number 2 overall, equal number 2 overall, equal number 2 FM. But they pulled back a little bit. They won't want to see that pattern reoccurring. Triple M doing well there, but that hit station, look, it's not in the top 5. There's only 6 stations in Adelaide, commercial stations, but there was some real growth. Dave Cameron from the Hit Network from Southern Cross Stereo has been spending a lot of time in Adelaide, and he seems to be making some headway there.
All right, just quickly on Perth as well, looking at that, Mix coming in top spot.
Yeah, again, no surprises there. Mix and Nova in the top. 6PR was a good move. Well, both Hit and 6PR both did well there. The Hamish and Andy effect again for Hit.
And actually, speaking of commercial radio awards, the finalists have been revealed.
Yeah, look, 33 categories. This is a massive awards night, Ingrid. You've really got to get some stamina if you want to sit through that one. 200 finalists, a lot of people you would expect up the top there. The AM teams, 3AW, 2GB represented there, 5AA in Adelaide. Gary Linnell from 2UE's been nominated for an award too.
All right, let's move on to some other news we're watching, because in terms of racing.com channel, we've seen 7 West Media's Tim Warner and Bruce McAvaney launch this. When's that?
Yeah, look, that's losing my voice here.
Oh, no. I might actually interrupt you anyway because, and we'll come back to the radio and I'll talk a bit about something else that we did this week, which was the Harper's Bazaar at Work conference. And I'll just tell you about this because this is something that Harper's has included in its sort of magazine. It's got a new section called At Work and they've sort of brought it in. They're teaming up with luxury brands to bring this section in. And they've had a couple of conferences, events, kicking one off in Melbourne earlier in the year and now they've brought it to Sydney just this week. So that was held at the Art Gallery and it featured some women. It's all about sort of successful women, I guess, and that's a lot of their readership is sort of business women.
And it's a new space the magazines are getting into.
Yeah, exactly. So Blaney North, she's an interior designer and Crown, she interior designs for Crown and James Packer, so she's got a big sort of following there. Carla Zampatti as well, a designer, and also Melinda O'Rourke from MO Luxury. They all spoke at this Harper's Bazaar event, so it was a breakfast event, paid event, so another...
new revenue stream for them.
Exactly, revenue stream. You sound like you got your voice back a little bit, James. We might move on to some media appointments this week as well, because we've seen Kim Wilson join News Life Media.
Yeah, look, a great get for them. Kim from OK Magazine. New idea, just getting back. She's been overseas for a little while, been studying, and she's coming back to run Kid Spot for News Life Media and to sort of drive their female portfolio. So just look at how they can supercharge that a little bit. Yeah, for sure. And Stephen Shearer as well, becoming the new MD of Facebook Australia and New Zealand. Sure, yeah, causing media companies a lot of trouble with the growth in their advertising. All right, let's take a look now at some of the ratings for free to air for which week are we in? Week 34. There we have it. The Voice coming in top spot there for Channel 9. No surprises there. We've also got 9 News Sunday, 7 News Sunday, Sunday night. That's all news, isn't it? Yeah, all news shows in there. No surprises probably there. Turning the page, though, for the rest of the top 10 for free to air. We'll see what that comes up as, and there we have it. Dogs make you laugh out loud, Ingrid. You see those shows are still really working for 7. We spoke about this last week. The dog video is really... they're keeping them coming. They've got another one next week, so yeah, it's really working for them. I don't see The Bachelor in there, so maybe that'll come. It's not far off that. It's just under that, still having some really good figures for 10. So many headlines in the pages. Yeah, there's nothing but... yeah, exactly. All right, let's move on to subscription television. This is sport, of course, the top 5 sport for week 34. We've got NRL, of course, Roosters versus Broncos coming up 1. We've got the AFL in there. No surprise to see those two. Just missing that top 5 was the netball, which did very well for Fox Sports, the Australian netball final. So that did well too. So just missing the top 5 there. Looking at the top 5 non-sport, The Simpsons in top spot. Peppa Pig, a bit of a mixed bunch. A couple of UK TV properties there. Who do you think you are? I think it's the UK series they're running now. And Doc Martin, which does very well. Look, it's on everywhere. It does very well for 7. It's on 7 too, I think. Does very well for the ABC as well. All right, let's talk more television because the series launch, we were talking about this a couple of weeks back, Fear the Walking Dead. It set US cable series ratings record. Yeah, look, the biggest launch ever on cable TV over there. Did very well. Did very well for FX here too. I think it was screened twice during the day. Over 100,000 people watched it that day. David Gingell even mentioned it this morning in the analyst call at the 9 results. He talked about how they're pulling back from spending big on overseas content, and he said, look, they wouldn't pay $300,000 for Walking Dead, which presumably was the price it was getting shopped around at here. Well, $300,000 episode. That well, speaking of 9, because September's had a bit of a makeover, host Scotty Cam calling it the Blockathon. Blockathon, yeah. There was a bit of speculation. Would 9 give the block a bit of a rest? Some thought earlier this year they might be overdoing the format, but it's coming back starting in September. Yeah. And 10 and Shine Australia sign Matthew Lenevez to play Peter Brock. Peter Brock in telemovie. Yeah, look, that key drama is really working well. That special event drama. This is what this will be for 10, the telemovie. Shine's making that. They're making a lot of good product for 10 at the moment, and that'll be on in the first half. We're expecting of 2016. Might go back to that racing.com channel we were talking about earlier. Do you want to tell us a bit about it, James? Try and spit it out now. Yeah, it's so it's a thoroughbred racing channel, starting off with just partnering with Racing Victoria. Yep. It screens on air from this weekend. So it's really interesting play. It's only going to be on free to air at the moment. I think they're talking to Foxtel about maybe getting a channel allocation so they can screen it on the Foxtel platform as well. But it's a niche space. It's not going to be really
a huge revenue spinner for Seven initially, but it's exploring a new revenue stream for them, and it's all about this thing too, available on any platform, so you'll be able to stream that on or your mobile devices and stuff like that, as well as watching it on traditional television.
At the same time, Foxtel's launched a broadband marketing campaign. What's this all about?
Yeah, look, we've talked a little bit earlier this year about that, and Richard Frunstein has been talking recently about, so look, we're really going to start pushing broadband hard, and now they've really increased the data limits that they wholesale at Telstra wholesale it to Foxtel, and they retail it, so they're really up the limits, and they're going to start a big public awareness campaign, a big marketing campaign, hoping to sign up a lot of their customers who take the television.
All right, we'll have to leave it there, James, but as always, thank you very much. James Manning from Media Week there, and that is all we have time for on this edition of Media Week. Thanks for your company. We have more news and analysis up next.